Yes, people, back with another video. Welcome to Cass. If you've never been here, make sure you like and subscribe, especially if you like the content. I'm going to be saying a lot of things today that people might not like, but I'm going to try to play both sides as much as possible. And people might have seen, may not have seen, but I'm here to talk to you lot. And we had a panel show yesterday, a little bit hectic, maybe not, but things have been said. Amorim's clearly had enough. Yeah. You all saw the comments. I don't even feel like I even need to bring them up anymore, but I'm going to actually go and find quote for quote as well. And he's basically threatening to walk. In my opinion, I don't even blame him, because it's about time a damn manager puts some pressure on the ownership to say, I need these players. Make sure you get me these players. So I expect certain deals to get sped up. And in a way, I understand a lot of you are Amorim out and think he's not good enough. And I think both things can be true. Like, he might not be good enough now. You might have a little bit of a difference of the way of viewing him in the future. I don't even care if you even change your damn mind. I don't even care if you change your mind. But for me, I feel like people forget what he said, what everyone else has been saying. I feel like with the Man United fan base, whether you like it or not, I'm not going to lie to you lot. I don't feel any of you. I don't feel that this fan base, a good portion of it, anyways, is patient enough. And I think the West Ham thing, the West Ham loss, kind of drove us a little bit mad. It drove me a little bit mad. You feel like, you know, when you feel like you're checking out, you feel like you've already checked out, but then it just comes back again, and it's like, how does this get any worse? It's like, hold my beer. I'm gonna make sure it's even worse than it is. I want to be patient with him. I don't know what it is about Amorim. Maybe it's the way he talks. Maybe it's the way he... Maybe that because he speaks so much sense. But for me, I don't know what it is. Is it just there's just that thing? I don't know what it is. I don't feel like I feel like getting rid of him right now doesn't solve any problems. A lot of them, and I'll dive more into that anyways. But people keep smashing the like button. Let me go through some of your comments. I feel like this is Dan Fenton, Bundes manager. Brother has failed the probation. Or it could be someone new. I don't think you might not be that. Is that Dan? Did you change your name? A big up. It says, Narcas, I'm really tired of Amorim. We must sack him in the summer. Nothing has changed. Only the formation changed. No improvements on players. Let's get the video to 100 likes. Also sell this bum Hoyland. Midoriya, I can always forget, man. Big up everyone from NAF. Smash the likes on the way in. On that notice, big up Cass, big up Chills, JJ, Paddy B, and Ilias. He's too honest now. Shit, United. You know what it is? It's I feel like I know where this story lands. But anyways, more than just Amorim, you know, INEOS must back this manager. And on top of that, there's ownership battle and tension. And it's all coming out of the woodworks. Yo. 2 secs. You're on live, but I'm on live, by the way. I'm on live, by the way. Me. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, but you know what it is, yeah? In my opinion, look what everyone has kind of done. When I say everyone, I mean a portion of people. Everyone, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like a lot of people online, I find. So that was mods, my bad. You know when what's his name came into the door, Ragnick, and he was talking about open heart surgery. He was talking about windows shifting lots of players out. A lot needs to be done top to bottom. As soon as Amorim leaves, and the next manager comes in, and hear me out on this part, people are going to go back to what Amorim said. We've already got Ten Hag revisionists. We've already got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer revisionists. We've already got so many of these other different managers that do this, right? That's not been that great, but then there's revisionism for them. It will be the same thing for Amorim. The Amorim revisionists will come back and say, look what he said, changing the culture, better players, this, that, and the other. And it's like, When does the cycle end? For me, personally, by the way, for me, this cycle will never, ever end, right? Until we literally stop with bad recruitment. Bad recruitment over many years and obviously overpaying for players has now caught up to us. This is what we got. It's the same thing over and over and over. When is it, us United fans, when do we all agree at once, say it's time to stop all of that? You know, and you know what? And I hear it. He might not be that guy. He might not be the one that leads us back to glory. He's got his own song. He might not be. He might get sacked. And guess what? On that note, I wouldn't be mad because I can understand it. There's a lot of decisions and a lot of situations, if you want to call it that, that I just really, really dislike. But I just don't understand. I just don't see why I would want to be him out, because I'm more like sold on the players. The players needing to go out. The players need to get gone. After the last 5 years, we still employ, and they're going, by the way, we still employ players like Maguire, Lindelof. Who else is there? Delo. Even now, Eriksen's there, about to go. We got so many scrubs there that can't play basics of football. Either there's something wrong with them, yeah. Either they're not that good at football, their legs have gone, and if not, they're too weak. If not, they're not even technical enough. And I just wanted to, this is where that's my stance. Yesterday, I was very emotional, right? In terms of like the discussion. And I think that's normal. Everyone knows me to be a bit emotional. I can be very logical, but I can be very reactionary. And I didn't even say get rid of him. I said it as a joke, to be fair, on Saeed's show, but I can understand why people would have no patience for this man. But I have no patience for these players. How can no one see that it's these players? Football is such an easy game once you've got tools, right? And I don't feel like we've had a balanced side for many, many years. And when I talk about balance, I'm talking about go back as far as Ollie. You know how we provided balance? We had McFred as balance, so Bruno can roam free. That was our balance. Do you know how shocking that is to say? We haven't had midfield balance since Matic, Herrera, and Pogba. It hasn't been there. It's gone. It's finished. And the fact is, players, people are, it's like they're not trying to recognize that. Oh, it's a 3-4-3 killing us. The 3-4-3 is meant to be the better midfield. It's meant to be 4 in the midfield, not 2. You know, it's not a flat 3. People think 3 is going to make everything better. Even if we play 4-3-3, you lot couldn't tell me a 4-3-3 that works. Let me know the players in the 3 in the midfield that works. Because guess what we're going to do? We're going to go back to the tactical stuff. We're going to all probably say Casemiro, then Bruno, and then we're probably going to put another centre mid there, like Mainu, and it still don't work. Because guess what? I love Mainu. I think I don't want him to go. I want him to stay. I want him to develop correctly. There's no legs in the midfield 3 of Mainu, Casemiro, and Bruno. It doesn't work. Casemiro, as much as I loved his performances, as much as I've loved the man's performances, they've all come in Europa. Same with Bruno. A lot of his good performances have come in Europa. The one player when I say I like balance and why I back players like Toby Collier is because he's got a mixture of everything that we need. You know, first phase, picking up the ball. He does the basics super well. Very fast, very physical. And he hasn't had a lot of men's football yet. And you can see there's potential there. But the only issue is injuries at the moment. He can't keep up with his injuries and it's annoying. Don't matter how you want to put it, the combination of play is drastically rubbish. Drastically rubbish. And you can set up tactically however you want. Whether you've got now Dorgu at left back, if you want to put 4 at the back. I like our back line. I don't mind it. I just hate the goalie. The goalie's the flipping problem more time than less. Can't save anything, both of them. But then you go look up forward. We've had Ahmad out for 3 months, by the way. He's been, I don't know if he's been rushed back or anything. I still feel like even if you had Xerxes fit and as a false 9, we still got Garnacho on the left-hand side. So again, the profiling of our player as a squad, for me, is the overall issue, not just Amorim, because I don't believe any manager that comes in is going to sort this mess out unless they've got tools. Every single new manager, again, this is just my opinion. I'm going to go through some of your comments. Please get your comments in, by the way. It doesn't matter what manager you bring in. Then, I mean, these days, even Pep needs the correct tools these days, by the way. Pep usually wins. He might win the FA Cup. But this season, he has struggled, even with good players technically, he has struggled physically within his squad to get the best out of them in certain games. Even he needs all the tools, and he's the best manager in the world. Even Arteta, look at the team he has at his disposal. He still needs more. Do you get what I'm saying? The only team I find that's got a great 11 and it's been getting injuries here and there that would have done a lot better, that's got the perfect balance of everything you need other than one position and he's thrived this year, is actually Newcastle. Newcastle have got everything, right? Until the injuries came. Lewis Hall, Livramento, proper technical, sound, quality young players. Botman, wasn't for their injuries, guy's one of the top 5 best centre-backs in the league, if not top 3, in my opinion, for me. Yeah, Fabian Schär, quality player. Could they do with an upgrade? They've got Tonali, Joe Linton, and Bruno Gomes, technically, physically sound. Then they've got Isak and Gordon. When Gordon also had a bit of a knock, Isak had the knock at the start of the season, and then Jacob Murphy's gone from strength to strength to strength. That's, for me, pound for pound, them and City probably got the best 11s in the league. On just that 11, it's just that they don't have a squad. When you look at us, there's a good reason why we get dominated so much by even the lesser teams. I've witnessed it in person this year. I witnessed it with Palace. I witnessed it with Southampton, even though we came away with the win. When is it enough that to say it don't matter what manager you've got, this team is suited to low block and only low block? We're so rubbish. And that's where I stand in. Getting a new manager in, what do you think De Zerbi's going to do with this team? What is De Zerbi going to do with this team that doesn't score goals? I would like to know that, Midoriya. I would like to know what we do. Because De Zerbi ain't doing shit when there's no goals in this team. And guess what? He loves the technical midfield. Let me ask you, lot, do we have a technical midfield in any regards, let alone physical? But I want to have a good discussion here. I want to know what you lot think. Not just what I think, but that's just my little rant. Let me have my little rant, because both things can be true. Both things can really be true. I'm going to scroll up a little sec as well. Thomas Frankel, Bournemouth manager. Not sexy appointments, but they have Prem experience. Football is still a player's game at the end of the day. I've seen these players be dog water for much longer than I've seen Amorim make bad decisions. And this is you, Khabib, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Like when I usually read your comments, it's usually something about, you know, that's not regarding the players at all. Like, discourse around Amorim is so different of Garnacho and Asmus could finish chances. Get rid of all the effing players who are not scared of losing. Amorim is the best man we had in many years. Cass, getting rid of the players and the manager isn't mutually exclusive, though. We can get rid of both. I hear it. The players are bang average. Ten Hag is a bum. The point he got early season has kept us up. I better see Kobe in training camp all summer. His fitness has been diabolical all season. I can see us getting a new manager. No one would have done any better unless they play counter-attacking football. And even if we did play counter-attacking football, how much better is this counter-attacking football? Like, as in, do we finish higher than 10th with counter-attacking football? Because we all would be moaning about a manager that plays counter-attacking football. We've had enough of that. I thought we had enough of that. Arteta's not top 10 manager of the world. Let me keep scrolling down. But Amorim ain't it, though. This isn't a low block team despite the formation. We play fairly high up when we have possession. Yesterday we did it though, Paddy, which kind of annoyed me. Cause this shit players made 3 finals in 3 years. They're not shit. It's the coaching too. But every time, why do we always blame the coaching? Is it always the coach's fault, or is it not that the players are not that good? Again, I think Ten Hag got rid of a bunch of shit players, by the way, and he got a lot of his players in, and it's also still shit. He replaced shit with shit, if not shit with worse. He literally replaced shit with a lot worse. How does that work? Recruitment. But Cass, no one is saying he has to compete for the league. 16. I know, that's why I say I can't really argue with that. Do you think we can play? No chance. We tried that last time. No chance. I don't see it. Amorim speaks like Guardiola, but coaches like Steve Bruce. Oh, boy, I personally don't even know what to really say with that. Amorim's also said, let me, I could share the quotes. If you don't want me to share the quotes, I can, but if not, this is what he said yesterday. In the Europa League, we don't play very well, but there is urgency because we can't lose and we find a way to win the match. In the Premier League, there is no such feeling. We can see, and he even said yesterday, like along the lines of, we have to be strong in the summer, but because we will not have a next season like this. If we start like this, we should give the space to a different person's, aka management role. He says everybody's focused on a final. The final is not the biggest thing in our football club. We need to change a lot of things. If we don't change the way we play or perform and feel this urgency of winning every game, we should not play in the Champions League. We should just stay in the Premier League and learn how to be competitive one game at a time. See, he drops a lot. He drops a lot. Have you read the news about the clash between Sir Jim and Glazers? I feel like there's tension within it all. I've not read it as a whole. Liam Delap. No, I don't even want to read that. But I've seen that like Joel Glazer apparently loves United, but you know he needs to do what's best for his family and whatever that may be. And there's also a clause. And I said, and by the way, on this very channel, I think I said not a year ago, about 8 months ago. Everyone already know. This is what I mean. They like to bring up new news, or old news, to satisfy us all. To satisfy us all. I already knew there was a clause that right now the Glazers could literally say goodbye to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and off you go. But financially, that makes zero sense at all for the Glazers. The Glazers need money. They're selling the club. Verbal agreements. It's all about whatever the billionaires discuss. But in that contract, whatever's binding INEOS Manchester United, the Glazers can literally relieve them of their duties and say goodbye. But then right now, United's a sinking ship. In hindsight, us finishing in the 16th and maybe even getting into the Champions League, as probably, if they had it in thought, probably say, no, we can't do this. You know, look, it's a sinking ship. We probably need to get out. That's what I think anyways. There's a lot. I feel like there would be tension because I think Ratcliffe wants ownership of the whole. I think it was ownership of literally the whole thing, the whole shebang. I don't think he's a billionaire that comes into this wanting to be a bit part player. Like, who would? You're a billionaire. You own like half of what? Mercedes, F1 and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not too sure what it is, but with INEOS, I just don't see it. He's trying to put up Nice to just raise extra funds. You know, if there's other assets that you don't need that you can find, like you literally can go and sell to put towards shares and stuff, then so be it. I'm not against INEOS. I feel like it's unfair to even judge them at the moment, in my opinion. I mean, other than the job cuts and all this kind of stuff, which is kind of sad, but the reality of business, I don't understand how you can really get onto them. They've been in here for a year, right? They've got us 5 players that pretty much all of us like, bar maybe one now because of, you know, in terms of, you know, what's it called? Agate. But regardless of all of that, I just don't get onto INEOS. I just don't see it. I need like 2 or 3 years of seeing what they can do to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not really feeling this. I don't really like what they're doing. But every time there's a target that comes up for Man United recently, we all love it. Why? You said I'd rather take the Qatari bid, but that got rejected. Actually, a Qatari bid didn't even come through. It got rejected. So the only way in the door was literally to be in bed with these fuckers. That's it. So on that note, it's a little bit difficult. It's a difficult position, man. Cass, are you Amorim out? No, I'm Amorim in. I'm staying in. I don't want to do this fence stuff. I hate this. Sitting on the fence does my absolute noggin. I can't do it. Like, waiting. You know what it is? It's biding your time, waiting for the most popular answer. That's what I find fence sitting. And I hate it. I think it's rubbish. I think it's just a way of playing the game. So you don't look like you're an absolute delude or an idiot. Does that make sense? I'd rather just be wrong and strong. Like anybody else. And even going back to the whole INEOS thing, I guarantee after this summer, no one's going to be complaining about INEOS. Even if we don't get Champions League, we're still looking at Cunhas and stuff. Do you get it? Like, at what point do people realize how bad Manchester United are, like, in terms of in a position of financial freedoms? If anything, they're fucking saving this damn club. That's exactly what I feel like they're saving it. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time because there's so much rubbish. We talk about the major, like, you know, okay, cool. We talk about the major issues behind Manchester United, even before they came in, yeah? Before they came in. We're talking about audits that couldn't be revealed to public knowledge. And we think about the mess that United has been in for so long. You think that's going to be sorted within a couple months? Do you think a billionaire, do you think money, by the way, do you think money solves everything? Do you think it solves everything? It solves a lot of like, oh, you know, financial freedom to buy players, But beyond that, it doesn't just solve the problems that are behind closed doors. You still need a good team to run the club. So every time we lose, why does everyone love to shift to the ownership? Because it's the easy way out. It's the easy way to make some sort of scapegoat to make ourselves feel much better. So this is why I'm not really on anyone that's... I'm not really... It's such an awful... It's just a rubbish situation, but I just don't feel like anything's wrong upstairs. Other than the Glazers, obviously, like being in and around... I'm not Amorim out. I think we still need to be patient. I just look at these players. I think it's just sometimes you got to look at the pitch and say these players are just crap. Look how poor we've been for years. It's not even been 10 years. It's ever been since they came in the door. And I don't even really want to use Glazers as the reasons why we are here right now. Overall picture, yes. You have to look upstairs. You have to look up top. But right now, I look on that pitch and just see that as the asset of United that's going to get them more money and say that is a failing machine and it's failed. And anyone, even the best manager in the world, can't make the best out of that situation of what we see week in, week out. And that's why this whole squad needs ripping up. We always talk about 95% of this squad being crap. But it's easy to go and blame the manager all the time. And I think it's okay to blame the manager at times. I think, you look at that and say, why did you make that decision? Why'd you do that? But these players can't even perform to basic instructions. I go play football with my friends that are at my level, or you do. But trust me, there's always that one that might mess up the whole base. The whole base. It just takes one average player to make sure that you lose in that 5 or 7 or 11 side game. Someone has to cover. We've got too many of them, one average players. There's a good reason why Kudus and Bowen can run through our midfield every time. There's a good reason why Tyler Dibling and Sulemana can run through our defense every time. There's a good reason why Semenyo, Kluivert, Solankis of the world can run through our midfield and attack our defense and a goalkeeper every single time. We need 3 midfielders. We need way more than that. It's all about recruitment. And my blame is on the recruitment. And it's all started with Ten Hag ripping up the squad and replacing that with 600 million of absolute garbage and overpaid babies. If you heard what even Amorim said, have you not noticed the patterns of each manager? They always end up talking about mentality, the culture, and whatnot. These players switch off all the time. These players switch off all the time when it doesn't suit them. That's why when it comes to the FA Cup under Ten Hag, they switched on. But in the league, they switched off. Same thing with Amorim. They're all switched on in Europa because it's something to win. But in the Premier League, they're all switched off. Do you know what I mean? But this is not our level, Adrian. Bollocks. We bought new players. Yeah, the new players are rubbish. Except for the ones that are recent, but majority are rubbish. They're not scoring us goals. Everton, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest are playing better than United. It's this shit system plus formation. Okay, Everton sit back. Play counter-attacking football. Let's see how far that gets them with David Moyes. Because at least with them lot, they've got some sort of potency when it comes to the attack. Either way, when it comes to the attack, they got more goals than us. Højlund would not survive in any of these teams. And you know what? Garnacho, maybe in a Nottingham Forest side. Or maybe even Everton, but barely, yeah? Crystal Palace have better players than us, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, they still got Sarr, a much better outlet than we've got. They still got Eze, who runs through our midfield every single time, and Mateta, a goal scorer. Wharton is a controller. So whichever way you want to look at it, they've got more potent attack. That's why they can get out of their situations. Nottingham Forest play counter-attacking football, and just like Ten Hag in his first season, absolutely bottled it towards the end. Do you remember that one? You know when the whole goal started running out for Rashford? And they're not the places we want to be. Everton, Crystal Palace, and Forest are not the places we want to be. Because no matter what, we can recruit better players. If not, we can recruit their best players. And we'll see how it goes. I didn't see his facial expression, but he's got to look at himself sometimes. I like Casemiro recently in the Europa League, but even with him in the midfield, doesn't solve anything in the Premier League. Amorim has built a very big illusion. Right now, fans are divided. The board is hopping. The media is cautious. Well, of course it is. But we're going to lose against Chelsea. So we're going to lose against Chelsea. And there's going to be more outrage. We're at their ground. We're going to get effed up. We might come away with a draw, but we're going to get effed up regardless. Why the F are we even playing shit staying week in, week out? We might as well buy Edison and put him in front. I just don't think we can score goals. Again, we just don't score enough goals. It's always going to come down to goals. We owe the Premier League goals. And a man who's only got one, let alone two plays in a January window, can't make the best out of this group. I don't know. Yeah, run it up then. Totally disagree. On paper, United have a better squad than most teams. I don't think we do. It's too. You know what it is, Adrian? I'll go back to it. We are so unbalanced no matter what combination you put through. I'm still in belief of that. I'm actually in belief of that. We're just too unbalanced. Even if you put Xerxes out front, there's not enough goals there. Even if you got Hoyland there, he's rubbish. Garnacho can't hit a barn door pretty much 9 times out of 10. Football's not played on paper. You put Ugarte next to Casemiro. Remember that whole conversation when we put Ugarte next to Casemiro? Guess what happens? There's not enough progression. And guess what? We've got no legs because we're always playing Bruno, our captain. And you got to have legs around Bruno. We don't have legs around Bruno. 90% of sides in the Premier League, as Ginger's saying, are just better than us. And even if they're not better at football, in some instances, they've got more to them, aka some athleticism. All it takes is some P&P to destroy Manchester United. That's all it takes. And with that P&P, a lot of them are technical. It's not all about system. It doesn't matter if you play 4-3-3. It doesn't matter if you play 4-2-3-1. It doesn't matter if you play 4-4-2. It doesn't matter. We've only got 2 goal threats. And we've only got 2 goal threats. Who is it? I think Khabib just said it. Ahmad and Bruno's are only goal threats. Bruno's only scored 5 goals for us this season, which ain't penalties, by the way, in the league. Ahmad keeps flipping, bailing us out. Because that's what usually happens. I don't know. That's just my stance on everything, isn't it? That's just literally my stance. INEOS must back. You know what? INEOS, not only should they just back the manager, they need to back the damn club. We need to buy players for the club in case there is manager change and we don't have certain situations saying we need a manager that's going to get his players X, Y, and Z. You can put Cunha and Boumos and the rest of it, the laps in multiple different ways of playing in systems. And again, managers always have some weird favorites. But we'll see. If we really believe Hoyland's going to be our number 1 striker or Garnacho is going to be our left 10 or whatever next season, then I don't know about you, man. But I know that's not the case. Are you confident you can? Yeah, I'm definitely confident. Are these playing 16th place quality? Let me look what's above us. Now, you know what? In fairness, they're not fit. They're not 16th place quality. I don't think they are. But I don't believe they're above 10th quality because again, I'll say again, Golang, yeah? Let me ask you this question, order you this question, and before I wrap up, right? Do you believe that this attack is better than anything above? Let me know where you rank this attack in the league. Where do you rank this attack in our league? Our best attack, or the attack that's available right now, where would you rank that in terms of getting goals in the league compared to other teams? I'll wait. $19th, 12th. I don't see Bournemouth when they switch up Areola from 4-2-3 on to 3-4-3 or flipping Crystal Palace. I don't see them having a problem with that. It's just the fact they don't have good squads. 10th with Hoyland in it. Attack wins you games, man. Attack wins you games. Our attack is not potent enough. No matter how much you do the maths, we've got the worst striker in the league, and we got one of the worst wingers in the league. End of debate. Who's live anyways, man? Is there anyone that we can raid right now? Oh yeah, like the video, people. If you don't like the video, let me know. It'd be sick if you lot can. Also, if anyone are any of yous interested in a Discord? Because we got quite an active Discord with a lot of people as well. I was about to say players, but the Discord's there if you lot are interested. Do join up. I'll tell people when we're live. I'm gonna be doing like graphs, graphics, all that stuff. Subscribe if you're new. I haven't even put this on that mode yet. There you go. Who's live? I need to know who's live. I don't think anyone's live. I think Saeed might be live. Yeah, Saeed's live. Let's just go raid Saeed anyways. But other than that, if there's more news, I'll come back later. But I'm not Amorim out in it, so you can abuse me in the comments. I don't mind. I'll die on this sword in it in a bit.